From translation, NIV New International Version, this 134th day of the year today, we are reading passages 2 Chronicles 13-17, 2 Chronicles chapter 13, verses 1 to 22 in the 18th year of King Jeroboam. Abijah became king of Judah. He reigned in Jerusalem 3 years. His mother's name was Maacah, daughter of Abishalom. Abijah went to war with Jeroboam and had an army of 400 chariots and 400,000 select troops, while Jeroboam opposed him with 800 chariots and 1,000 select troops. Abijah stood on Mount Zemaraim in the hill country of Ephraim and said, "Jeroboam and all Israel, listen to me. Don't you know that the Lord, the God of Israel, has given the kingship of Israel to David and his descendants forever by a covenant of salt? Yet Jeroboam son of Nebat, an official of Solomon son of David, rebelled against his master. Some worthless scoundrels gathered around him and opposed Rehoboam son of Solomon when he was young and inexperienced and not strong enough to resist them. You now propose to resist the kingdom of the Lord, handed over to the descendants of David. You have a great multitude of chariots and horses, and with you are the golden calves that Jeroboam made you for gods. But as for us, the Lord is our God, and we have not forsaken him. The priests who serve the Lord are sons of Aaron, and the Levites assist them. Every morning and evening they present burnt offerings and fragrant incense to the Lord. They set out the bread on the table of the Lord, and the lampstand of gold with its lamps to burn every evening. We are observing the requirements of the Lord our God, but you have forsaken him. God is with us, he is our leader. His priests with their trumpets will sound the battle call against you. People of Israel, do not fight against the Lord, the God of your ancestors, for you will not succeed." Jeroboam had sent troops around to the rear, so that Israel was in front and Judah behind. Judah turned and saw that they were fighting at their rear, so they cried out to the Lord, and the priests blew the trumpets. Then the men of Judah gave a battle cry. As the men of Judah shouted, it was answered by God, because the men of Judah relied on the Lord, the God of their ancestors. The men of Israel fled before Judah, and God gave them into their hands. Abijah and his troops inflicted a heavy defeat on them, so that there were great casualties. 500,000 able-bodied men were lost. The Israelites were subdued at that time, and the men of Judah succeeded because they relied on the Lord, the God of their ancestors. Abijah pursued Jeroboam and captured from him some towns in Bethel with their surrounding villages, as well as Jeshanah and Ephron and their surrounding villages. Jeroboam did not regain power during the rest of Abijah's reign. The Lord struck him, and he died. But Abijah grew in strength. He married 14 wives and had 22 sons and 16 daughters. The other events of Abijah's reign, what he did and what he said, are written in the annotations of the prophet Iddo. 2 Chronicles chapter 14, verses 1 to 15. Abijah rested with his ancestors and was buried in the city of David. Asa his son succeeded him as king, and in his days the country was at peace for 10 years. Asa did what was good and right in the eyes of the Lord his God. He removed the foreign altars and the high places, smashed the sacred stones, and cut down the Asherah poles. He commanded Judah to seek the Lord, the God of their ancestors, and to obey his laws and commands. He removed the high places and incense altars in every town in Judah, and the kingdom had peace under him. He built up the fortified cities of Judah, since the land was at peace. No one was at war with him during those years, because the Lord had given him rest. "Let us build up these cities," he said to Judah, "and put walls around them, with towers, gates, and bars. The land is still ours, because we have sought the Lord our God. We have sought him, and he has given us rest on every side." So they built and prospered. Asa had an army of 300,000 men from Judah, equipped with large shields and with spears, and 280,000 from Benjamin, equipped with small shields and with bows. All were brave, valiant warriors. Zerah the Cushite marched out against them with an army of 1,000 men and 300 chariots, and came as far as Maashah. Asa went out to meet him, and they took up battle positions in the valley of Zephathah near Maashah. Then Asa called to the Lord his God, and said, "Lord, there is no one like you to help the powerless against the mighty. Help us, Lord our God, for we rely on you, and in your name we have come against this vast army. Lord, you are our God, do not let mortal prevail against you." The Lord struck down the Cushites before Asa and Judah. The Cushites fled, and Asa and his army pursued them as far as Gerar. Such a great number of Cushites fell that they could not recover. They were crushed before the Lord and his army. The Cushites fled. Asa and his army also carried off a large amount of plunder. They destroyed all the cities around Gerar, for the terror of the Lord had fallen on them. They plundered all the cities, for there was much plunder in them. 2 Chronicles chapter 15, verses 1 to 19. The Spirit of God came upon Azariah son of Oded. He went out to meet Asa and said to him, Listen to me, Asa and all Judah and Benjamin. The Lord is with you when you are with him. If you seek him, he will be found by you, but if you forsake him, he will forsake you. For a long time, Israel was without the true God, without a priest to teach, and without the law. But in their distress they turned to the Lord, the God of Israel, and sought him, and he was found by them. In those days it was not safe to travel about, for all the inhabitants of the lands were in great turmoil. One nation was crushed by another, and one city by another, because God was troubling them with every kind of distress. But as for you, be strong and do not give up, for your work will be rewarded. When Asa heard these words and the prophecy of Azariah son of Oded the prophet, he took courage and removed the detestable idols from the entire land of Judah and Benjamin, and from the towns he had captured in the hill country of Ephraim. He repaired the altar of the Lord that was in front of the portico of the Lord's temple. Then he summoned all Judah and Benjamin, and the people from Ephraim, Manasseh, and Simeon who had settled among them, for they had come to Jerusalem because of the Lord. Large numbers had come to Jerusalem in those days. They sought God eagerly, and he was found by them. So for 3 months they made a covenant with him in Jerusalem. They took an oath to the Lord with loud acclamation, with shouting and with trumpets and horns. All Judah rejoiced because of the oath they had taken with all their heart. They sought God eagerly, and he was found by them. The Lord gave them rest on every side. Because they were faithful to his covenant and his commands, the Lord gave them rest on every side. They also dedicated some of the spoils they had taken to the Lord, and provided for the perpetual service of the temple. King Asa also deposed his grandmother Maacah from her position as queen mother, because she had made a repulsive Asherah pole. Asa cut her repulsive idol into pieces and burned it in the Kidron Valley. Although the high places were not removed from Israel, Asa's heart was fully committed to the Lord all his life. He brought into the temple of God the silver and gold, and the articles that he and his father had dedicated. There was no more war until the 35th year of Asa's reign. 2 Chronicles chapter 16, verses 1 to 14. In the 36th year of Asa's reign, Baasha king of Israel went up against Judah and fortified Ramah to prevent anyone from going out or coming to King Asa of Judah. Asa then took all the silver and gold that was left in the treasuries of the Lord's temple and of his own palace. He sent it to Ben-Hadad king of Aram, who was ruling in Damascus. "Let there be a treaty between me and you," Asa said to him. "Let my father and yours make a treaty with each other, and let me send you a gift." Ben-Hadad agreed to King Asa's request and sent the commanders of his armies against the towns of Israel. He conquered Ijon, Dan, Abel Beit Maacah, and all Kinnereth in addition to Naphtali. When Baasha heard this, he stopped building Ramah and withdrew to Tirzah. Then King Asa issued an order to all Judah, no one was exempt, to carry away the stones and timber used in building Ramah. He used them to build up Geber in Benjamin, and also the fortress at Mizpah. At that time Hanani, the seer, came to Asa king of Judah and said to him, "Because you relied on the king of Aram, and not on the Lord your God, the army of the king of Aram has escaped from your hand. Were not the Cushites and Libyans a vast army with great numbers of chariots and horsemen? Yet when you relied on the Lord, he delivered them into your hand. For the eyes of the Lord range throughout the earth to strengthen those whose hearts are fully committed to him. You have done a foolish thing, and from now on you will have wars." Asa was angry with the seer because of this and put him in prison, at the same time crushing some of the people and confiscating their property. The events of Asa's reign, from beginning to end, are written in the book of the kings of Judah and Israel. In the 39th year of his reign, Asa was afflicted with a disease in his feet. Though his disease was severe, even in his illness he did not seek help from the Lord, but only from physicians. Then in the 41st year of his reign, Asa died and rested with his ancestors. They buried him in the tomb that he had cut out for himself in the city of David. They laid him on a bed which was filled with spices and various kinds of perfumed oils prepared by the perfumers. And they made a very great fire in his honor. 2 Chronicles chapter 17, verses 1 to 29. Jehoshaphat his son succeeded him and strengthened himself against Israel. He stationed troops in all the fortified cities of Judah and set garrisons in the land of Judah and in the towns of Ephraim that his father had captured. The Lord was with Jehoshaphat because he walked in the former ways of his father David. He did not consult the Baals, but sought the God of his father, and followed his commands rather than the practices of Israel. The Lord established the kingdom under his control, and all Judah brought him gifts, and he had great wealth and honor. His heart was devoted to the ways of the Lord. Furthermore, he removed the high places and the Asherah poles from Judah. In the 3rd year of his reign, he sent officials to teach in the towns of Judah, and with them the Levites, Shemaiah, Nesaniah, Zebediah, Asahel, Shemiramoth, Jehonathan, Adonijah, Tobijah, and Tobadonijah. and the priests Eliel, Maaseiah, Jehiel, Azariah, Jephthah, and Joel and Shemaiah. They taught throughout Judah, taking with them the book of the law of the Lord. They went to all the towns of Judah and taught the people. The fear of the Lord fell on all the kingdoms of the lands surrounding Judah, so that they did not make war with Jehoshaphat. Some of the Philistines brought Jehoshaphat gifts and silver as tribute, and the Arabs brought him flocks, 7,700 rams and 7,700 goats. Jehoshaphat became more and more powerful. He built fortresses and store cities in Judah and had large supplies in the towns of Judah. He had soldiers, mighty men of valor, in Jerusalem. Their unit was listed under Jael the Gershonite and was led by Jehozabad. Next, Amasiah son of Zikri, who willingly volunteered to serve the Lord, assembled 200,000 able-bodied men from Judah and 200,000 from Benjamin. From Issachar, who understood the times and knew what Israel should do, there were 200 chiefs, with all their men under their command. From Zebulun, those who could go out in war, equipped for battle with all kinds of weapons, could number 50,000 fully prepared for battle. From Naphtali, there were 1,000 officers and 37,000 men ready for battle with shield and spear. From the Danites, those capable of going to war, 28,600. From the Ammonites, capable of going to war, 32,000. From the Manasseites, capable of going to war, 18,000. From Ephraim, capable of going to war, 80,000. From the half-tribe of Manasseh in Bashan, capable of going to war, 120,000. From Issachar, capable of going to war, 200,000. From Asher, capable of going to war, 40,000. From the tribes of Benjamin, Dan and Manasseh west of the Jordan, capable of going to war, 180,000. These were the numbers of the men ready for battle who came to Jehoshaphat at Jerusalem in the 3rd year of his reign. The total was 1,160,000. They were stationed in all the fortified cities throughout Judah, and with Jehoshaphat were leaders in all the towns of Judah.